Yeah, I'm here. Bro. Global clears out of the zone as it's received by Tons. As Tons gets past the defender, he's on a breakaway, 2-0. As forehand moves to his backhand and whiffs. Fighting for it now in the Wendigos zone as Tons gets it on the goal line, shoots it off the side of the net. As now it is cleared out by Opal and goes down to the Yorktown zone. Hockey Devils now looking to clear it. And he does what's blocked by Hockey Baby in the Yorktown zone. Global trying to poke it away. He does, but then Hockey Baby regains possession in front of the net. Good chance here. Cannot convert. Scramble for it in front of the net. Elvis. His forehand looking on his backhand looking to clear. He whiffs. He brings against possession and clears on his forehand. And he scores again, another full icer that Elbrew lets in. That is embarrassing. 2 full icers in 2 minutes. As both of them he could have easily saved, but just didn't. First one goes right under his body, and then no, that's not it. First one, he was standing up, and then the second one, he hits it in, and it's an own goal. That goal there was scored by Global, I believe, and assisted by 74 Elvis. Shots 4-1 with 7:29 to go in the first period. Face off now, won by the Wendigos. Is now Elbrew, the goalie. It takes it into the Yorktown zones. They're fighting for it now. And Elbrew comes out with it, but he gets tilted. Now as Elvis looks to clear, he whiffs, and Elbrew poke checks. And Elvis poke checks out of the zone now. It's Tons. Tons shoots it. Shoots saved, but it wouldn't have been on net by Opal. Cleared now as Hockey Devils looks to clear it again. And he does, and it will be received. Nope, not received. Goes right past his blade. Now, under the goal line now, Elvis behind the net, looking to do something on his backhand. But he loses it. And then regains, never mind, it got poked by an Elbrew. As he looks to clear, and he does. Global now looking clear. He does. Gets it over to Tons. 2-on-1. But shot now into the zone. Stopped by Hockey Devils. And Global looks to clear it. And it gets dumped into the Wendigo zone. I'm watching. The defender now can't clear it. He does not know what shift lock is. Oh, and he finally does, and it gets called out of play. When it was not out of play. Took a solid 70 tries there to get that one out of the zone. And when he finally did, it gets called for out of play. Be sure to tune into the other games tonight. Villano plays Vancouver Voodoo at 8:30. After that, the Stonyville plays against Stockholm. And then the Dayton Dukes play against the Motor City Mustangs at 10. On breakaway now, Tunshut scores! Right past the blocker of Opal. And makes it 3-0. Just 5 minutes in. On their 6th shot of the game, he converts it on a breakaway opportunity and makes it 3-0 with 5:34 to go in the first. This game has been all Yorktown for the first couple of minutes, as nobody gets credited with the assist there. but the goal was scored by Tons. Shots are 6-1 as the goaltending for the Wendigos, which they had the goaltender who had the most saves out of every BMHL game. Just recently they had him, but he just did not show up tonight. Elvis clears into the zone, but blocked by ML Brew. Elvis now coming into the zone. On his forehand, shoots just wide. And it rings around the boards and goes out of the zone. As Global now looks to clear. And he does, gets it over to Tons, but Hockey Baby stops it. Now got cleared in, as that one will be called the offsides on the Wendigos, as an Elbrew was offsides by a mile. 5:05 now remaining in the first. Shots are still 6-1. And the Wendigos just haven't really had any solid opportunities to get a shot or a goal. Well, they have gotten a shot, but it was not a good shot. Hockey Baby for the Wendigos clears it and goes behind the net now. It's Hockey Devils. Looks to clear, but they're fighting for it. And Hockey Devils hits Hockey Baby. Now is the guy that does not know what shift block is. Never mind. He set up a good play, but we just couldn't do anything with it. Now Tons now back the other way. He's on a breakaway once again on his forehand. Moves to his backhand and he whiffs. Now Hockey Baby tried to get out of the zone, and there was an offsides call on Yorktown on Tons. Shots now 7-1. And both benches are pretty empty for both teams when you compare it to other qualification games so far this season. Face off now. Won by Yorktown. Breakaway for Tons on his forehand. Forehand backhand. Forehand backhand again. Shoots, scores! 4-0 with a beautiful shot there. As he goes forehand backhand, just places it right over the blocker of Opal. It makes it 4-0 with 4:15 left in the first period. And it seems that people on Yorktown want the other team to forfeit, as this game is extremely one-sided. And the Wendigos to add barely have enough to play, as they make another third goaltender change this game, and they put, I don't even know who they put in that. Never mind, they did not make a goaltender change. Person just reset. Face off now. Tons comes out with it once again. Tons shoots just wide as he gets ringed around and goes back into Yorktown zone as Bob's VC tries to play it, but he doesn't. Dumped now by Yorktown as it's received by Tons in the Wendigo zone. Shoots one-timer and his stick broke. That was extremely unfortunate there, as that could have been something. Tons now behind the net on his backhand, looking for the wraparound. Shoots, but he whiffs. On his backhand again at the top of the circle. Fighting for it now. And a penalty for interference was just called on the Wendigos. Score me, warn me, 1, 2, 3. Has been called with interference. And he's arguing, trying to say that's not a penalty, when it was a terrible organized hit. Now, Yorktown won the face-off, but goes out of the zone as Tons has a chance to play it, poked away by Hockey Baby, as they are fighting for it on the blue line. And still fighting for it now as Hockey Babe will come out with it and attempt to clear it with his backhand now. He's going on his backhand. And gets poked away by Global as he shuts that down. It's a 3-on-1 attack now from the Wendigos, even though they are on the penalty kill. Seem to be playing a lot better than they were before. I would call that one a penalty right there, but there is no call. Global gets out of the zone as now it is a breakaway for Tons for like the third time this game. Tons on his forehand. Dangling now shoots. That was actually a great save there by Opal the Furry. As Tons regains possession outside the zone. Comes in now. Tons. Again on his backhand. Forehand. Shoots. Big save there by Opal. As he keeps it 4-0. Instead not 5-0. Global now clears it. And both teams. Yorktown has 1 person on, and the Wendigos have 3. If they want a chance to score, now is their time. But they just cleared down. Placid Gaming now. Blocks the clear attempt from Global. It's in front of the net. Looking now. Trying to get it in, but they can't. Fighting for it now in the trapezoid. And Global clears it, but it just goes off the back of his net. Then Global actually clears this time. Penalty is over. Best hockey that the Wendigos have played all period comes on their penalty kill. Which is kind of shocking. Fighting for it now. Again, under the goal line. And Elbrew with a big hit there as he sends Elvis flying to the air. And then they clear it down. And Hockey Baby and Global fighting for it, but then Global, chance to clear, he whiffs. Tries again, and he gets it this time. Gormy now tries to F-shot clear it. He can't. Shoots it. Just shot it off the back of his own net. Hockey Devil's now a defender, trying to score. This game is not being taken very seriously by either teams. Clear down now is, and they're team stealing for whatever reason, but Hockey Baby now is holding F-shot, pops in the air, almost, it just goes right over the net, maybe a little bit down. That would have been, I think that would have been their first goal of qualifications. And 2-on-1 back the other way. Tons in Hockey Devils. Tons shoots wide by 50 feet. Fighting for it now as Hockey Baby gets out of the zone. 2-on-1. 3-on-1 now. Hockey Baby shoots. F-shot just goes, would have went wide, but Global blocked it either way. Tons now 2-1. End of the first. There's just a little more time there. I believe that the Wendigos could have done something with that. That takes us to the end of the first period. Score is 4-0 in favor of the Snipers. Shots are 2-11 in favor of Yorktown, as Yorktown has double goals than the Wendigos do shots. Now, as we are getting ready to start the second period now, 10 minutes on the clock. Face off now. It is won by the Snipers as he G-shots it. Now it's Elvis holding F, shoots, blocked by an Elbrew with a poke check, but him back the other way. 1-on-1 with OK Global. That's all he has to beat to get a shot at the goal. An Elbrew, and he tries to dangle and messes up, and he goes aside. Tons now fighting, and Elbrew delivers a huge hit, but the Wendigos players do not know what offsides is they're about to get called for it. And they somehow did not touch that, even though I swear they did, and that puck goes flying across the ring. Oh! And he gloves it somehow. That is big save there. Out of crease Warren. Wasn't really his fault though. I don't think he was trying to glove it. It's crazy though. Face off now. 1 by neither team as it's a tie-up. But Tons is getting quadruple teamed as he gets in front of the net now, looking on his forehand. Elvis, slap shot, no goal. Hockey Baby looks to clear on his backhand, and he gets that the zone at least, as Tons will pick it up behind the red line, and he just dumps it down. Elvis dives and stops it for going out of the zone, but backhand shot saved there by the Wendigos goalie. Global clears it down and a tape-to-tape pass to Tons. 2-on-0, Tons and Elvis. Tons on his forehand, moves to his backhand, shoots, saved by Opal. Hockey Baby back the other way as the rebound went pretty far. Hockey Baby on his backhand. Moved to his forehand. That would have been a really good chance there if he didn't poke check it. Melbrew now. Oh, in front of the net. And the Wendigos player gets hit there, and he goes tumbling. Hockey Baby now, looking. The Wendigos players seem to have no coordination as they are just clumping. And Hockey Devils might have a breakaway here, but it gets poke checked. Hockey Devils try to get down him. Hockey Baby poke checks it. And now a penalty for interference on Hockey Devils 99 is... That was interference, but he was nowhere near trying to, as the animation became... Well, not became. The animation happened before the hit. But they're up 4-0 anyways. $7:54 to go. Shots 2 to 14, not 12. Yeah, 155 to go on the penalty. As it's dumped into the Wendigo zone, it is a 4v1. And I don't know what... Okay, and he clears it with his backhand. I'm just going to run around. As Tons will receive it in the Yorktown zone. He clears it, and it goes all the way down past Dixie and Scormy. Opal taps it out into, like, right above the goal line. As Scormy attempts to clear. He's trying. And he just gives over to Dixie Wayne, who tries to F-shot. And he whiffs. Oh, but then he finally G-shots it out of the zone. Placid Gaming 78. This is terrible. Elvis clears it. As NL Brew receives it in the Wendigo zone. But Elvis steals it. But then NL Brew gets it back once again and just dumps it down on his backhand. Bob's VC stops the ring around. I don't know why. Because now the Wendigos have it in front of the net. Well, no, almost in front of the net. It's right in front, but Tons seems to get it out. And Fee just delivers the pass. It is another breakaway. Is 2-0. Shoots, saved by Opal the Furry. He's been playing decently well, at least this period. As Nelbrew clears it down. And that one's just going to ring around. Tons receives it now in Yorktown zone. As he clears that one. Pops up and could be on net, but it won't. And he looks like he's about to go for the wraparound. He does. Shot would have gone wide, but Opal stops it. Breakaway now for NL Brew. On his forehand. Is this a chance here? NL Brew, he has a chance. All the Wendigos trying to poke check it in. But it rebounds out. And now it's a breakaway for Elvis. Elvis and Tons. Elvis on his forehand. F-tap saved by... Goes off the dome of Opal. As he saves that one. And he is standing on his head in net. But there's not much you can do when your team is 2 shots on goal in the second period. Face off now. Elvis lining up against Placid, and face off won by the Wendigos as Hockey Baby comes out with it on his forehand. Gets right past the red line now as he's in Yorktown zone. Could this be an opportunity as he breaks past the defender, but he messes up the play? Hockey Baby and Global fighting for it now as Hockey Baby dives. And Hockey Devils gets it and F shots it away. Now it's Elvis one-on-one with Squirmy Wormy. He moves to his forehand, gets past, but shoots it quite early, and he just goes wide. Elvis now went back on his backhand. Shoots, blocked by Opal as that puck kind of lagged in air that allowed Opal to get there in time. And Elbert now on his backhand tries to clear, but he just messes it up, but he has it now. As it's poke checked away by Elvis, and it's another breakaway for them. Shot off the post. That would have been a nasty shot there if he could have just little to the right. Tons now on another breakaway, probably like his 20th of the game. And he shoots it just again too early, and it goes wide. His NL Brew clears it out of the zone. 4 minutes go now in the second period. Shots 2-19 in favor of Yorktown. The Wendigos have not had a shot on goal since the first period. But now is Elvis and I'm Watching You are racing to it as Elvis poke checks it. We take a look at the stamina. Both of them have barely any. As Elvis, when you check stamina checker, it doesn't say he has any. So he could legitimately be playing with no stamina. But Hockey Baby now on the back the other way on his forehand, and it gets poked away by Hockey Devils. Shoots blocked by Hockey Devils in front of the net. Fighting for it now just in front of the Yorktown net as Hockey Baby gets hit. This is just... I can see why this team lost by an absurd amount. This team... The only team I think this team is capable of beating is the Seattle Sea Lions, as they lost 14-0 yesterday to the Foxes. Oh, but shot there, F shot, but it just did not work. And now the Wendigos player immediately checks his ping because he thinks that's the issue. As Tons now gets it in the Wendigo zone, shoots off the side of the net. Tons now gets it under the goal line as he's fighting for it, but in front, the backhand shot goes, big save there by Opal Furry, but Tons now wraparound, shoots, scores! 5-0. Tons converts the wraparound and makes it 5-0. Scored by OK Global, even though Tons scored that one. And we'll just say assisted by Global. Shots are 21-3. The Snipers have 7 times the shots that the Wendigos do. But this gameplay is very, very one-sided. Not gameplay, but this game is very one-sided. As Yorktown is just... The Wendigos would be doing really good right now if they had any sense of coordination, but they're just all in one big clump trying to get the puck. Now is Hockey Baby clears it and gets it up to never mind. Okay, Global clears it. And Elvis fighting with NL Brew for it. As Elvis comes out with it on his backhand, moves to his forehand, shoots. What a goal there, makes it 6-0. And the Hats are dropping here in Unknown Arena. As that was a nice shot there. Sneaks right past the glove, even with him using the kick. Just goes right past his glove. And now someone on the Wendigos is trying to say that wasn't in. The Wendigos may not even score a single goal this qualifications tournament. If they do, it'll just be purely off of sole luck or the other team lets them have sympathy. Face off now, won by the Wendigos. And Wario stops the game. Oh, and they have to get a player or else the snipers have to get a player or else they forfeit. This could be a crazy turn. Wait, yeah. You need 4 players that are like able. You need 4 skaters. So this could be a crazy outcome here for the snipers, as they could just lose this game based off of forfeit. That would be crazy. Being up 6-0. But it might mean nothing, as they might have to forfeit. They're asking for 3s, but 3s, I think it stopped being a thing around season 10. But if the Wendigos are able to win this based off of a forfeit, it'll be just like how I said, it'll just be pure luck for them, as it'll be a first in franchise history for the Wendigos. Be sure to tune in the other games tonight, as I already said earlier. The Voyagers play the Voodoo at 8:30 in Game Server 1. The Afghanis play the Vikings, or Concord, whatever you want to call them, at 9 p.m. in Game Server 3. And the Dayton Dukes play the Motor City Mustangs at 10 p.m. in Game Server 4. The Voodoo Voyagers game has just started, but now I'm getting word now that the Afghanis versus Stockholm game has been rescheduled to 10:30 p.m. in Game Server 3, agreed on by both team owners. I have no clue how much time is on the forfeit clock, but I'm assuming it's around like 6 minutes at this point. Be sure to enter the Funk competition in BMHL, the official BMHL Discord. We just have to edit one of your clips in the Funk beat drop or whatever, and you could win a Robux prize of 1,000 Robux. As this game might get called in favor of the Wendigos, who have been dominated all game, unless someone from Yorktown shows up and at least just AFKs on the ice. It's a bare minimum at this point. The Snipers still have not got a person here. It'd be insanely unfortunate for the Snipers, as this could have been like a morale boost that they needed. But if they end up losing this, I think they will be pretty upset and start complaining, even though it's them that aren't showing up. There's 3 minutes on the forfeit clock. As I think this is going to get called in favor for the Wendigos. Turn of events there, as I don't think anyone would have expected that. I just don't get why one of their players would have left. I believe it was, let me see. It wasn't Tons, it was I don't know who left. Oh, I know. Wait, did they get someone here? No, they didn't. I don't know who left for Yorktown, but someone had to have left for them in order for Wario to call the forfeit clock. That is honestly really depressing, being up 7-0 and having to forfeit. And in case anyone was wondering, Unknown Arena has 412 seats, not including VIP, I believe. I've just read that from credits to Bongo for counting if he did. And then Alex Nick Jr. responded by saying, "This guy has no goals on my team, yet he's counting Unknown Arena than scoring goals." Been burnt in deserts, frozen ice. I've even been to paradise, but I get no place with you. Christopher Columbus may have reached his land. The Wendigos, they have the chance to get their first franchise victory if they cannot get a player in one more minute. Will this be the only game that the Wendigos win this season? That is pretty sad, honestly. And I believe the game is being called now. Yep, the game is over. And the Wendigos get the forfeit win here tonight in a shocking turn of events, as they should not have won this game. But by some insane luck, Yorktown players left. And that's the end of the game. 3-0 is your final score. Forfeit win for the Wendigos, as they are going crazy on the bench. And they win this one here tonight in Unknown Arena. I don't think anyone would have expected that, as I don't get why they're celebrating. They were down 6-0. Now, post-game questions, Placid Gaming 78 except to answer questions. And now everyone on Yorktown is complaining, except for Global and Tons. And Placid is agreeing with the Yorktown players for saying he sucks. That is... I don't know. Be sure to tune in to the other games tonight, as right now the Voodoo game is going on against the Voyagers. Now Placid is being asked how does he feel about being walked by someone that has no stamina whatsoever. And he says good. And when asked what is his favorite color, he said yes. So that is fun. And Opal comes out and says, it was a rough game. I wish we had an actual goalie, but I'm proud of our team, even though it was rough. Yeah, if the Wendigos goalie was actually here, I believe it would maybe be even like only 1-0, possibly even 0-0, if the Wendigos just stepped up their game. And even people on the Wendigos are saying that they did not deserve that win, as they got slapped by the snipers by the skin of their teeth. They win this one. And now Elvis is up to answer questions. And he's just saying that he walked all of them, but I don't get why it matters if they lose. You don't see anyone else bragging about anything, even if they lose. He said he feels good and bad. Thank you for tuning in tonight here on BMHL Network. Be sure to tune in to the other games tonight, and thank you for watching here and sticking with us during that painfully long forfeit.